is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. I've been waiting so long and so excited to do this video. I actually ran Grey Knight's RTT fixed list at the local RTT event in I almost said Stomping Grounds, in Alternate Universes, Bluebell, Pennsylvania. That's our local store. We actually have a couple Dirtbags coming out who watch our videos and say hi. Dread, I know, is one of our local guys now, but it's just a cool event. The terrain is perfect. They keep upgrading every single time. It's exactly like Games Workshop should be. So shout out to that store. That store is really, really good. And they're actually moving to a bigger store. Hopefully going to be running GTs in the upcoming future, which will have our first 40k Dirtbag GT. So excited to have them host that. That's going to be so cool. But yeah, this video, we're going to be going over 3 games, specifically at the RTT that we just won. We went 3-0. We didn't place first just because of points, but we still went 3-0 at an RTT with a fixed Grey Knight list, no Dread Knights. So that's going to be my opener because I still love Grey Knights. Grey Knights are literally my main army. I placed first with them in the world 2022 season ITC rankings. This year we're currently ranked #1 for Chaos Space Marine player in the world. That's kind of what people know me for right now with the Chaos Cult detachment. But this video is going to be all about it. We're going to go over picture by picture, turn by turn, first 3 games, and after that we're going to go over kind of what we would improve, what we would change, and obviously with the points updates coming up, depending on when you see this video, that's really going to determine if we're going to be running this the same or a little bit tweaks here and there. So let's get into our sponsors and we will get into the video with the list. What's up, gents? If you want to support the channel, the best way to support us is to click on any of these links in the descriptions as well as on the main page. We have our 3D6 Wargaming, the objective markers, we have the Rexar Lasers Terrain, use the code DIRTBAG for free shipping, and also the Patreon page, that'll be at the end of the video, but the merch store is the news store. If you guys want to support and wear some of the swag at the RTTs and GTs coming up, make sure you come up to me and say, hey, check out this swag, because I will love it. We have a bunch of Orc swag, a bunch of 40k swag, but mainly we got the Dirtbag swag. This tumbler, legit, use it every single day. Coffee and water, and then these hoodies are so comfortable. I would recommend getting a size up just so they're comfortable on you, as well as with the t-shirts and any of the muscle tees. But this jersey specifically, these are super, super lightweight, perfect for RTT and GT settings. The 4 ounce is the lightest weight that you could possibly get. It is, I would highly recommend the 4 ounce. The 6 ounce is a little bit heavier, but the 4 ounce is perfect for RTTs. We have white and black versions, and if you guys are interested, all the stickers are on the t-shirts as well. But guys, that's the best way to support us, is head over to Patreon and click on our merch store and represent the Dirtbags in some merch. Not only can you support us at the merch store, but you can also support us on Discord by messaging me specifically, DM. We sell poker chips, which are great for objective markers, naming specific units that have buffs or debuffs, and sticky objectives. We use them every single game. All of the stickers are available as you see over here, and then all these models, we have Cypher, which is in every single list. We have our Tech Priests for Grey Knights and any Space Marines that are really hard to get. We have the Phobos Librarian, the Phobos Lieutenant with the combi weapon. Caldus Assassin should still be in every single list, and the old school Cotiez model. We also have the widgets, which are used in every single game, as well as the dice. The dice are limited edition. Once they're sold out, they are gone forever. But guys, let's get back to the video. All right, guys, so here is the list. I actually have been playing this for a little bit. It's a little tweaked here and there just because the points with the Inquisitor Henchman came out. So I was having Cotiez, which was around 75 points, and then I had to ditch him because he went up to 95 points, and then I had to tweak a little bit to bring Cotiez back, which we'll get into the video later on. But this is going to be the list real quick for you guys. We have Brother Captain Stern. If you guys are going to run fixed, he's literally the best model in Grey Knights 4 fixed because he gets back up on a 2+. Once I saw that in the beginning of 10th edition, I was like, this guy should be in almost every single list, whether you're running fixed or not. He's just super annoying to deal with, the little 40mm base, popping in the opponent's backfield. And if you guys, I didn't say it yet, but we are running behind enemy lines and deployed teleport homers. Those are the 2 fixed missions. We went into it. We don't really kill a lot, so we're not really going to be looking at killing stuff. It's mainly going to be like, I'm going to be in your backfield most of the game. You can't stop me. If you are trying, you're not really going to be playing the game. So That is the mindset with this list. Then we have the Chaplain. The Chaplain used to be a Grandmaster. The Grandmaster having a 2-up, 4-up with 7 wounds and potentially being able to do a free strat is why we brought the Grandmaster. He's just super annoying first turn, first to the fray, so we changed it to a Chaplain. Just because he's a 2-up, 4-up, toughness 5, 6 wounds, I believe, with the Chaplain. So, but still, it's really hard to get after him. He might have 5 wounds, I don't know. But really hard to get after him because he is coming down first of the fray, so you have to try and screen out your entire backfield. But I have a 3-inch deep strike that if I need it, I can use that turn 1 coming in with first of the fray. So that is why he's there specifically. It used to be a Tech Priest, but I found out that the with the points updates, the extra points for the Chaplain or for the Grandmaster was worth it because of how many wounds and the 2-up, 4-up that he has on his body. So Librarian is a solo that can do actions as well as do his Vortex of Doom. I don't like the Libbies specifically. They always die to me, or they roll like shit every single time they do the Vortex of Doom. I think in one of the games I rolled a 6, and then I rolled double ones. So I was like, all right, this guy I don't like, but I'm bringing him specifically for the fixed list because he's able to come in solo for 40 mil base and do an action plus a Vortex of Doom. Then we have the Grandmaster. Now this guy is just super annoying to deal with. He ignores all the modifiers now, so with the Deathwing Knights, so freaking good. He ignores everything from them. So him with a unit of Paladins with Sigil, they never die. Like, they are so hard to chase down, to shoot, to get after, that they are going to be your bully unit for the entire game. Obviously, you're bringing Sigil with him, and he has once per game, which should be once per turn, but once per game can do a free strat, or one less strat for free. Then we have Caldor Draco, should be in every single list. No ifs, ands, or buts. Caldor Draco, every single Grey Knight list, no matter what. 5 Terminators. I love 5 Terminators with Draco. It's a little elite unit that you can come down and get a 6-inch charge where you need it, specifically doing secondaries and actions. Not actions, but like getting over at a point where you try to steal a point, kill something on a point, or get in the backfield and stop their primary. That is really what Draco's unit is all about. And also, it's like 17 OBSEC for 5 Terminators and Draco. It's really hard to counter and stop them from stealing your points. 2 Strike Squads, because 2 Strike Squads I think are a great idea for Grey Knights. And they can steal. Usually one stays back to do sticky. The other one is scouting forward to do a first turn action that you can, or they're going to scout defensively behind a ruin so that way you can pick them up turn 1 and then go do something else. Then we have a Rhino. Why we have a Rhino in this list is because we don't have any Dread Knights. And if you bring a Rhino, they can't ditch Bring It Down, because usually the Rhino is going to be defensive for you until they get Bring It Down, and then either going to ditch it for a CP, or they're going to cycle it through to gain a CP. But now, once they got rid of it, you can bring your Rhino out and go do whatever the hell you want to do with it. But they are transporting 2 Interceptor Squads. The Interceptor Squads are still able to get into a Rhino. They can hop out 12 plus 3 inches for the disembark, so 15 inches. You can then move the Rhino up to where you think they're going to be. You then shoot your interceptors, and then they hop back into the Rhino. It's a little trick that we did in 9th edition, but they basically hop out, shoot, hop back in. You can basically advance the Rhino. So basically you get the guys out, you advance the Rhino, see how far it goes, see where you want to put it, and then you move your guys up so that way they're all within 9 inches of that Rhino. So that way when they're done moving 6 inches, they're all within 3, they get back in the Rhino. Because they're out of phase movement, can get back into Rhino in a different phase. So, little trick there. 2 Interceptor Squads, because they are super good for missions, secondaries, everything. They can steal points. If you need them for Teleport Assault, you can do that, but they are super defensive in the Rhino, and if you need them to hop out 15 inches and charge, they can do that as well. 10 Brick Paladins, all side cannons, love this unit. Then with the Grandmaster Sigil, just again the best bully unit we have in the entire codex. Cald Assassin should be in every single list. If you don't have one, let me know, I can get you one. And Inquisitor Codiez, we did test this guy out just so in case the opponent gets a CP, we then on 2+ can get a CP. It works with him in reserves. I was testing out this guy or the 12-inch no deep strike bubble guy as well. So that is kind of what we would change about the list, is taking Codiez out, just say, hey, screw it, because actually this entire day I don't think I might have got one from Azrael, but besides that I wasn't really getting CP from anybody else. So he's kind of like a niche thing, so you have 95 points to play around with this specific list. But that's the list, guys. We're gonna get into it turn by turn, picture by picture, all 3 games in this video, so stay tuned. Let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like, and let's get into it. All right, guys, shout out to this hat. This hat is really comfortable. It's really lightweight. The only thing I don't like about it is the snapback, but if you guys like the snapbacks, it's hard to get the fitted hats. The website we have doesn't have the fitted hats, but they're still, again, super light and it's very breathable. Usually with the fitted hats, they're all like enclosed. You sweat a lot. I usually go like this and just wipe my head. That's probably why I'm losing hair because of how many times I do that at a tournament. But yeah, represent it. Go get some dirtbag hats. All right, so first game was actually against a cuddle buddy. So it's sad but not sad, but funny but not funny. We are going with the 40k Dirtbags because we're trying to do the 40k Dirtbag team in 2025. So we're working up to that, trying to get grandmasters and other super competitive people in the area to be a part of the 40k Dirtbags. So that really is just, it was made to happen because of how well we're doing with the channel, with the 40k Dirtbags, with me competitive in general. We won 2 super majors, so we got the Dirtbag name out there. So I just can't wait to start recruiting and getting the Dirtbag in ITC and the team going, and really just all across the world. That's really what I'm super excited about. But this RTT I put 40k Dirtbags, so I played Craig, who's a cuddle buddy, which is really our team as well. So the first game we actually went up against a cuddle buddy, Craig, who's one of the top competitive people on the team, and he's actually running demons. Demons are very good. They're good into really every army that you play against. I've played them a lot recently because a lot of people are running them now. But with the demons, his list was pretty standard demon list. We have the big guy with the 4-up, Feel No Pain, just super good against Chaos Cult. 2 Defilers, 1 is Slaanesh, 1 is Nurgle, I believe. Actually 3 Defilers. And the other one, I forget if it was Khorne or Nurgle or Slaanesh. But then he's got Be'lakor. He's got a little Demon Prince, which was custom made with some sister bits. It was actually really cool looking. Some Nurglings, 1 unit of Plague Bearers and the Seekers, and the character demon chick who is very good at killing characters. Full rerolls to hit, wound, and damage. Like, she's just nuts. So our first mission was Linchpin and Fog of War on Tipping Point. So Linchpin is a tricky one to master, but once you get it, it's super easy. It's a lot of points. There's no cap on this, so on turn 5 you can really control the entire board and just get a shit ton of points. Fog of War, first turn, units gain the benefit of cover, and players cannot use core stratagem, so no countercharge or heroic intervention or any of that stuff. So that was really good going into the mission. This is our tipping point. Now, a lot of people ask, when I do the coaching, this is what I really want to see for all my grandmasters out there. This is what I want to see when it comes to coaching for you guys, because I want to see the deployment, and then I want to see your first turn, so that way I can see where you deploy and where they deploy, and like that's just a straight overhead shot so I can see the entire board. Hopefully you guys like this type of stuff. I know a lot of comments are, I love this type of battle report for 30 minutes so you guys don't have to sit there for 3 hours. This is going to be a little bit longer of a video because there are 3 games, but I want to do it all in one sitting so that way you guys know exactly how we played it, what you can do with Grey Knights, and how to basically play against specific stuff. So, and what not to do it against the #1 Grey Knight player in the world in 2022. So with this mission, we had tipping point. So like I said before, we have our strikes up front. They're either going to do scout forward or scout behind cover. That is like their goal. The other strikes are back here. Sorry, they're over here. So that way they can be aggressive. They're either going to scout forward and do something turn 1 to get out of the deployment zone or on the objective, or they're going to scout sideways behind this cover so I can't be seen. These guys, same exact thing. You kind of string them out so that way at least one of them can stay on the objective on turn 1 if you have first. If you have second, you can just scout them back behind cover and still be on the objective so they can make that objective sticky. So that is what your 2 units of strikes are doing. The other 2 guys are in the Rhino. I have the little cheeky Games Workshop Rhino that I still have from when I was like 16. Full unit 10 or 10 paladins. Doesn't really matter where they're at. You kind of want to just put them up front so that way they can move out and shoot if they need to. They're usually the ones that get picked up for teleport assault turn 1. We have Drago's unit. Same thing in the back. They're just going to be picked up. We have Stern right there in case he has to move out and do an action. Again, I have like a couple units right on the outside of the deployment zone, so that way I can move up out of the deployment zone and do an action if needed. You got to plan for turn 1 secondaries. Watch my video. I'm going to do an updated one on Pariah Nexus. Assassin is somewhere safe, like right there. And then Codiez, I believe, is the only thing in reserves. Then he's got his guys, so he's got his 2 guys back here, so we can pick him up turn 1. The big guy is going to be able to just run and camp an objective rest of the game. These guys make everything sticky, and then the Nurglings, I think he should have either deployed them like here, or just deep struck them. I think Nurglings for demons could just really go anywhere. Yeah, I probably would have put them right here in the little triangle. But yeah, this is the terrain. That's the AU terrain. It looks pretty cool. All right, so turn 1, we actually go first. So what I did, oh, so his Seekers as well. So his Seekers were right, I guess he didn't deploy them yet, but basically they're right there on line, so they can either move up or go back. But turn 1, all right, so we did have turn 1 just because I couldn't pick up my guys. That's why they're still in the back here. Usually they're the ones picked up, Drago's picked up, and usually a strike or something is picked up, plus the Cowed Assassin. So 4 units are picked up every single turn. Stern sometimes, but you have just so many units to come up and down that sometimes it's hard to choose from. But we went first because that is why our Chaplain, which is right here, he has first of the fray, came down right there outside 9, so he's able to come in turn 1 without using a CP to come down within 3. So that's an option. You can come down within 3 if you need to, but if you don't need to, you just come outside 9 so that we can come down, get deployed teleport homers in the opponent's deployment zone and behind enemy lines turn 1, so you get an easy 7 points turn 1. You're going to be seeing that a lot in this tournament. Then he moved his Seekers up, Scout up here. Basically had 5 Seekers behind this terrain, which is smart by him. But our 15-inch threat range, basically our Rhinos right here, they basically hop out 3, hop out 12, and then this was like a 6-inch charge, which we made turn 1. The goal was just to try and get the Seekers out of the way turn 1. I whiffed pretty hardcore on these 5 guys without any rerolls or anything like that. I wasn't able to kill all of the Seekers. That's AP 2 damage, but if you have a 5-up invuln save, it doesn't matter. Left 2 on alive. My goal was to kind of like hop out, kill, and then move back a little bit, like 3 inches towards this objective. But we weren't able to do that because we're still in combat. The strikes, like I said, went first, so they made this one sticky, then scooted up and just towed this objective kind of as far away as I possibly could. We might have been able to get there on turn 1, moving 6 inches. I think we just moved up 6 and then towed that, made that sticky. So we had sticky, and then these guys kind of just advanced out, because they moved up 6 and then they advanced out 12 to get behind this ruin to there. So you can see turn 1 we set up one objective there, one objective there, one objective back there, and then we kind of fought and killed some of his secondary units on turn 1, and everything else kind of screened out the back. These guys did the thing that I told you where the Rhino advanced up to here. These guys hopped out, shot some random stuff, maybe the Seekers, and then they hopped back in 9 inches into the Rhino. So that was turn 1. His turn 1, he picks up his I don't think he has to, I think he picked up this guy. So this guy got picked up. Be'lakor advanced out. He came back down outside 6 inches. Seekers fell back. Shalaxi came down. Rapid Ingress on turn 2. Yeah, because this looks like it's taken after turn 2. Yeah, so these guys coming down. Basically what had happened on turn 2, Shalaxi, Heroic Intervention right there. So Drago, or the 10 Paladin blob, they came down here. They stole the, right here, I came down within 3. So they stole the objective here because he had his Seekers that fell back from my dudes over here. They died. Obviously, they're no longer with us. But these guys came down within 3 inches. What he should have done with Shalaxi is he should have just not moved and charged and just took out my Grandmaster as soon as possible. But once they came down here, they shot a bunch of dudes. I put as much as I possibly can into Be'lakor. If I can kill Be'lakor turn 1, that would be my goal, taking out like a 400-point demon on turn 1. That's where Drago came into play. So Drago came down outside 9 inches. He wants to make a 6-inch charge onto Be'lakor. So he puts all of, like, the anti-demon 2+ onto him, all the shots. I think I threw a grenade with the interceptors here. So I just took Be'lakor down to like 6 wounds before I made the charge, and then when I made the charge, he just died at Drago by himself. Anti-demon 2+, AP 4, 3 damage on his weapon. These guys just stayed back as far as he possibly could. I brought the Libby down here 18 inches away from Be'lakor to do some shenanigans, basically shoot 18 inches straight across into Be'lakor. You can see he's like as far over, and his little weapon sticking out can see his sword. Same thing, line of sight. So I can like hide as much as possible over here, shoot Be'lakor, and do some mortal wounds to him. Assassin I should not have thrown back here, but the assassin came back here to have both these guys within 12 inches. So that way, if he were to bring them back up next turn, it counts as 2 CP at the end of his turn. So she came down really there to get behind enemy lines. And then I think Stern came down in this little corner behind my head. So Stern is in this back corner, and then Custodes is there. I think Custodes did the action, doesn't matter. I got 8 points for behind enemy lines and deploy teleport homers. But we killed Be'lakor this turn. We killed the 2 Seekers, and now it's time to play in melee with everything. So yeah, we killed those guys, killed Be'lakor, tied these guys up in combat with Drago. Drago only has himself and 2 Terminators left. And then on his turn, he moves up Shalaxi, which then of course we get the fuck out of dodge. We're like, all right, I'm gonna miss the way. So we missed away, and then we rapid ingress right back down here. So that is one of my favorite moves to do with Grey Knights, especially this big 10-man Paladin brick. If you have 2 CP, it's a really good way to do it. You basically missed away, and then you rapid ingress somewhere else on the table, so that way next turn they can move up, shoot, and charge, and really be a nuisance on their turn. So he moves up the big fat guy over here. He kills the other strike squad. No, so it's just the Paladin squad. So she'll actually has nothing to do this turn because there's nothing else to charge. But my assassin's about to die in this back corner here. There we go, you can see it better. So assassin is about to die. The Demon Prince came in his backfield, which his whole backfield is shadow, so he can come down outside 6 to kind of kill our I don't think it was Stern, I think it was the chaplain in the back there. And then we have our 10 paladins that are about to go have some fun. Our strikes are just still camping. They're doing what they gotta do. They're just chilling. Get me some primary. And then the other interceptors are in this rhino back here. Then we have our strikes back here, blocking out the backfield. Codiez came back here. And he actually came in within 3 inches over here to try and shoot my strikes. So I got a dude in my backfield. I got a couple guys in his backfield. So we're kind of just hopping all over the place right now. He still has a lot of big demons, but we're Grey Knights. We're just trying to, hit and run the entire game. Paladins move up, steals home field objective, take away his sticky. We kill all of the demons plus the Nurglings. His Demon Prince is in combat with my Chaplain, which he lived, but I can't fall back because I'm basically stuck in that little corner. My Assassin obviously died. Stern then comes back up here, and you can see that this Demon Prince, or this Defiler, literally moved up to go after the Chaplain, failed, and then he moved back to go up to the the Assassin, killed it, and now he's got to go back and deal with Stern again. God, this is so annoying for this monstrosity. But strikes came down to steal the primary over here, so if I can just stop primary this turn, that's the goal. So come down within 3, stop primary from Shalaxi, stop primary there. All he has is a center objective, which I can't stop right now. I moved blocked with the strikes, so they basically advanced up and just stayed right outside of combat over here, so that way next turn he has to move around me or charge me to try and steal this objective. And then these guys did the same thing, so they basically advanced up, didn't charge it, they just advanced up and just kept him from moving over me or around me. He has to shoot, charge, and potentially get on the objective, but it has a lot to do to get through me. I could have kind of taken my guys differently to try and stop that, but we'll go over that. So where I took my guys was I took them on this side and one over here. I should have kept one of these guys so that way he couldn't go basically around me, which is what he did. He rolled like 8 or 9 on the charge, so he was able to run all the way around and then get base to base, and then if he does kill these 2 in combat, he can consolidate onto the objective, which was good by him, bad by me, because I didn't take the right guys for him to not do this. If I keep like this guy and that guy, he's got a charge there, and now he's way too far away to consolidate. If he has to go this way, it would have been a lot farther than him going this way. So just try and plan that out, like where you're going to remove your guys, so that way it's really hard for him to get on the objective. These guys still stuck in combat. He can't get past it because there's still 3 guys left, or 4 guys left. Drago's dead. Stern is just being ignored up here because he's got to kill these guys on the objective. And then my big ass paladin brick is right there. He wanted to charge his priest into me, his demon prince into me. And when he did, he just died. So he was like, all right, do I just sacrifice him to try and kill some, or do I just like move up and let you miss the way? So he sacrificed him and he died. So next turn, all I have left at this point is I have a sticky objective here. I think the Rhino died when he charged in. I didn't roll. He had 3 left. I don't think I rolled any 5s for a tank shock, so I didn't kill this guy. And then he fought back and just blew it up. So that was pretty hilarious. But I still have a sticky objective there. This thing's stolen, that thing's stolen, that thing's stolen. So everything's basically stolen. I'm still towing this one back here. But now we're in combat. We're trying to kill this thing as quick as possible. This thing is a lot harder to kill than it looks. And then I have a solo strike that fell back. And then I still have my awesome, super duper, amazing character, Stern, get me points every single game for deploy teleport homers and behind enemy lines. So at the end of the game, Shalaxi basically made her advance and charge over here. So she advanced up super far, made that charge on that solo guy that was right there, and then just immediately murders as much as he possibly can. She kills my Grandmaster, and then leaves 5 of the paladins alive back here, which she then moved up after I fell back. So I was in the corner just to kind of get behind enemy lines. I don't have a character anymore. I'm at 5 paladins, so I don't have to do a battle shock, which is cool. So I automatically passed my battle shock. I just fell back, got behind enemy lines, still did deploy teleport homers with Stern. And then when Shalaxi moved up to try and get in combat with me again, I missed of Deimos away, and then I rapid ingress to steal his sticky objectives that he had on the center and the top. So this was just a pro play right here, where I came back down and I took over this one because he had bottom of the turn. So if he has these 2, he gets a shit ton of points. But I steal this one at the bottom of his turn, so I steal 5-10 points at the bottom of turn 5, which he had basically every single objective. He would have had his home field objective, so it would have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 points if he had all the objectives on the table. He winds up with only 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he only had 11 points out of 23. Huge difference. Or he had 13 out of 20. So huge difference when it comes to primary. But look at how many models he still has left. He still has all 3 Soul Grinders. He still has Shalaxi. And then he still has the big Papa Nurgle dude. Now let's look into the points. Come on, points. All right. So look at this score. Now, we don't do points for scoring painting until the end. So you'll see all these points are actually 10 points cheaper than usually at a normal tournament or RTT. So technically we had a 79 out of 69, or 79 instead of 69. So 69 out of 90 points. And then he had 41 out of 90. So what we did this game was we strictly focused on stealing primary as much as possible, and obviously fixed. So fixed, you can see, guys, 7 turn 1, 8, 8, 8, 8. We had fucking 39 out of 40 on the first game against demons, which is just insane. And then for him, he had 9 for secondary points. He had 0 turn 1, 5 turn 2, 2 turn 3, 0 turn 4, and then I think 2 on turn 5. But look at the primary. 8 turn 1 because he had his home field, and then 1 in no man's land. He had 3, which should have been he only had his home field objective. 9, which he should have had 5. How did he get 3, 6, 9? I think that's when I stole his home field. So that's when he started to come back, and then 13, but he should have had 23 on this turn. So even if he did have the end game 5 objectives, he still would have only had an extra 10 points here. So it still would have been 69 to 51. But great game against Craig, good buddy and a fellow cutter buddy. But you can see, guys, this is no joke. This is how you play fixed. And you could literally get tabled and still win with Grey Knights and fixed missions. So hopefully you learned a lot there. Let's get into the next game. Next game is Burden of Trust. Talk about a confusing mission. Then we have Prepared Positions. Prepared Positions, players can something the battle line units with go to ground and heroic. So you can heroic intervention and go to ground with battle line units, which is awesome. We're playing Custodes, and then Burden of Trust is just super confusing. Let's try and make it as easy as possible. When you super awesome paint job, by the way. This is the army we'll go over real quick, but if you Burden of Trust, you have to be starting on an objective that you control. You can then guard it, and at the end of the turn, get 2 points, or at the end of the battle round, something like that. Get 2 points if you have guarded it. If you control it, you get 4 points. So max of 6 in the center or outside your deployment zone, and then 2 if you guard your home field objective. So you can guard your home field for the entire game and get just an easy 10 points. And then you have to guard and control the center in no man's land to get 6 points every single turn. So it is a little bit tricky. You have to basically plan to keep some units on the objectives most of the game. So if you can have somebody like behind a wall or just kind of chilling for there the whole game, that's an easy, 6 or it'd be 6 times 4, 24 plus 10, 34 points out of 50 just for controlling 2 objectives for 5 out of, whatever turn. So that is kind of like the idea going into this, is just hold 2 most of the game, fight over 1, and stop his other one. That is kind of like what you're going to be preparing for with Burden of Trust. Burden of Trust. It's a really hard mission, guys. But this is the deployment. 9 inches from the center. We wound up going first again in this mission. So his army is, he's got a couple sister units. One is the scout, the other one's kind of just chilling. He's got wardens, guard, wardens, Trajan, guard, as well as a tank, Draxus, assassin, Valixer, this guy, -1 to hit, -1 AP thing, and a blade champ, and then this guy on bike. Pretty cool list. There's just so many variations of Custodes, and the paint scheme I love. Like, it's like a white, gold, red paint scheme. So this is the deployment. He's got his tank obviously in the back. Our turn 1, we basically came out inside 9 inches over there. And again, we went first. So we started everybody in defensive positions, kind of like right on the line. They were over there. This thing was back where it started. Turn before, Assassin was up here because he didn't have any infiltrate. He did have a character right here on the line, the bike guy, which we killed turn 1. I'll show you how. Our strikes did the same thing where they just kind of scouted forward, made this sticky. The other ones stayed right there, made that sticky. The 10-man paladin hopped out so that way they can get line of sight onto this guy right here, the bike character. And then we just put all of the side cannon shots into the bike character. I ignore armor contempt, all that stuff. So it's just basically AP1, 3 up saves, 2 damage. And we kill the bike character. Again, we talked about this at the end of the game, but he probably shouldn't have put the bike character right there. He should have either been like right here behind that little terrain, back here, or back there. Like, you want him to be kind of like a late game piece for Custodes because he's super annoying to deal with. Him basically hopping up, charging, killing something, and hopping away at the end of his fight phase is just nuts. I really like the bike character. But we did the same thing. We hopped out our interceptors. We shot him, and then we hopped back in the Rhino. Drago and his squad ran up. Stern ran up. I think we have a strike squad back here. And yeah, super easy turn 1. That was about it. He scouted his sister chicks up here. So we had turn 1, so we brought this guy outside of 9 inches over here. He then moves up all of his guys. Actually, I think I had to come down within 3 inches. So I came down, I spent 1 CP, came down within 3 inches right here, just to try and make it annoying where he has to come out, which I can then mist away. Or if he comes out and charges me, he now has all of his guys in the middle of the terrain right here where I can just move up and shoot this squad right here. So that was my intent, was I was going to move up as close as possible, to be annoying. And if the tank moved up over here to get line of sight, I could basically mist away that way. So that was my intent there. It's kind of like come down within 3, be annoying, and if I need to mist away him, I can. If not, he's just there to kind of soak up a lot of shots and get his guys away from cover. Because Custodes in cover against Grey Knight, not fun. And these guys advance up. And then these guys start moving up towards this objective. Not really crazy turn 1. This is where basically he ended. He had his sisters in the center because I think he had area denial. The tank moved up over here. We did pick up our Mist of Deimos guy over here. So when he moved his tank up, I Mist of Deimos him off the board so I can save him for another next turn behind enemy lines and deploy Teleport Homer. These guards stayed behind the wall here with Draxus. These Custodio guard advanced up with Trajan. I think he actually came in deep strike, so I think he rapid right there. After my turn 2, top of turn 2, he rapid in the middle right here because I don't have a lot of shots on him. All my paladins came down over here to try and come down within 3 to kill his sisters on the unit and kill the sisters in no man's land. So the sisters right there advanced onto the objective. I wanted to kill his assassin, which I believe was over here. So anytime I see an assassin on the other side of the table, they are our kryptonite for Grey Knights. We need to kill them as soon as possible. Jack knows this, where if you're playing against me and I'm playing Grey Knights and you have an assassin, it is going to die. That is my game plan when I see an assassin on the other side of the table. No matter what, I'll throw a 400 and 500 point unit at the assassin to kill the assassin, so that way I don't have to deal with her and her bullshit for making my mist 2 CP. Especially with fixed. Like I have a limited amount of CP, so I have to kill her as soon as possible. So we came down within 3. Right here, I think I used my free strat once per game. We took the objective here just in case, and then we killed, I think, all but one sister, and then we killed the assassin. Then our Libby came down over here to get some mortal wounds either onto this unit or the assassin, and then our assassin came down over here so that way I can stop some movement and Vect. So came down mainly over there to Vect and hopefully kill some Draxus as well. Then our Drago came down here. He's going to steal the home field objective. That's going to be my goal this turn, is have Drago come down, try and punch a tank or kill some of this unit guard and steal the objective. But when I made the charge, I wasn't able to get on the point because I didn't kill this unit. So I left all but Draxus and 1 guard left after the charge with Drago. So Drago charged in, was supposed to kill that, consolidate on the objective to steal it. I just didn't have the movement, and he made a lot of saves. This game was a lot of saves on the Custodes side. But hey, it's 4 up involved, 50-50 shot. If they roll 90%, it's whatever. An assassin is just chilling there. The tank then moves back. I'm stuck in combat, so I can't mist away. Trajan starts coming over towards the paladins, which I do mist away from the paladins because I'm trying to save them. Trajan 12 attacks just could kill all my paladins. And then these guys came out to play from the other side of here. So they came out actually, yeah, so that's Trajan. This is the other Blade Champion captain. So they're basically advancing up over here. I have some interceptors out here. The other interceptors are in the squad, in the Rhino. I think I rapid ingressed down here because he brought his dude in over here to try and make a 9-inch charge to try and steal my objective. So another good trick with the rapid ingress is defending an objective, so that way they can't steal it from you. So if they have a big bully unit that they're trying to steal your backfield or steal an objective, you rapid ingress 9 inches away or 10 inches away on the objective, so that way they have to then charge or counter into you. And that's basically what we did here. Was he can then charge into me, which is fine because I have 10 paladins against him. I ignore all of his bullshit. Or if he charges my strikes, I can countercharge. Or if he piles in, he has to pile into me. So that is kind of like the mindset of keeping your objectives and just putting your bully unit, 10-man paladin unit, near them as much as possible. We try and block out the backfield as we possibly can. Stern is still back here. I don't need him yet because I still have my apothecary or my chaplain here behind enemy lines, and then I have my assassin behind enemy lines and doing actions. So after his turn, I still have my chaplain. Assassin is still over here. I think he puts a bunch of shots and stuff into my Drago unit because I already missed it. I can't miss again. This was something bad, I can guess, because I see 4 1s and a 5. This might be... this is me killing Draxus. So I think I needed 2s to wound him, and I rolled 4 1s and a 5. So I only kill... Or I think I take him down to 1 wound or something. Like, it was just so bad, this dice roll for Drago. So Drago kind of boned it right there. But I have an Apothecary, Drago left, which they then start moving up. He, I believe, overwatches. Drago's battle shocked. He overwatches, I think kills some of these guys because he rolls insane. I have my assassin who didn't die, which is cool. So assassin comes down in between here. My chaplain's still alive, getting me some points. That's literally all he's been doing since turn 1. Paladins are in combat with the dude who failed his charge, so they're able to kind of scooch up and charge back. We kill. There's 1, 2 Custodes and the character left. I whiffed this pretty hard. I have my interceptors in combat with them as well. So I have a 10-man paladin unit with my interceptors charge in, and just the amount of saves, guys, he just saved all of them. Still has 2 Custodes left and the character here, which then just kill all my interceptors. But we kept the objective. That was the goal. I move up my rhino to try to move block this guy, these guys, and again, this is where it starts to get the point of the game of a burden of trust, because he has to then decide, am I going to leave the objectives and give up on primary, or I'm going to try and go and camp the objectives and just try and win on primary. So that is where it's hard with this mission for Custodes, because you have such strong, powerful, expensive units that they're sitting on objectives not doing anything, which I was fine with. So I have my guys hopping all over the place doing actions and just trying to steal primary. He's got 2 big ass units on the objectives, burden of trusting them and not really moving off the objectives. So after this turn, this is what's left over. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paladins left with a grandmaster, and then I have 5 interceptors left. This is his save roll. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 die, and he lives. So he kills all of my interceptors with, I think, just that one guy. That was probably his damage roll. And then he then falls back to get on the point here. All my guys are just kind of chilling. These guys are about to kill a rhino. Drago's the only one left right here who I think he moves up, charges Drago, and tank shocks Drago and just murders Drago with a tank shock. I think he did that last turn with that. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the tank shock roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be the tank shock roll. So he rolls 11 dice and gets 5 5+ to kill my chaplain, which was right there. So that's what that tank first did. Moved up, tank shocked my chaplain, killed the chaplain with a tank shock, moves back, and then charges Drago and kills fucking Drago with a tank shock. This was him rolling an 11 to get onto Drago. So he needed to get from there to there, which he needed like an 11. He then rolls an 11. So I was like, great, of course. Why not? Of course you're gonna roll an 11. Like, no, that's not him. That's these guys rolling 11 into my stern. That's what happened there. So he needs an 11, gets an 11, gets into my stern, kills my stern. That's what happened down there. So Stern gets back up on a 2+, so he's kind of just chilling there. He's off the point now, but the sisters are still on the point. So Stern's goal is kind of move up and go after the sisters to try and stop primary. These guys obviously kill the tank. These guys are trying to steal my objective up here. I have my objective pretty clean, solid back here. Tank charges into Drago, kills Drago, and then goes to then proceed to tank shock my librarian, which he does with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 5s out of his 11 dice, and kills my my librarian. So that one tank alone kills a chaplain, Drago, and a librarian with tank shocks and like maybe one shot. That was the best tank, which makes sense. It's a custodial tank, right? Toughness 11, 11 dice. You should be able to roll 5/5-ups with 11 dice every single time, guaranteed 100% no matter what. So that's what happened. And then over here, these guys finally finish off the Custodes after coming down, shooting and charging. These guys are just kind of camping. And that's about it. So at this point, I only have some Paladins, Grandmaster, Strike, 3 Strikes, Codiez, and that's it. So then I start picking them up, getting behind enemy lines. I have to basically, I have Stern back here, Strikes back here, just trying to, again, keep doing the secondary mission, the fixed mission. That's all I'm focused on. These guys hop back. These guys, again, still doing there. Those guys still doing there. So these 2 big units are still on the objectives, trying to keep Burden of Trust. And it comes down to points at the very end. It was a very, very close game. Good game. We have 8 for primary turn 1. Sorry, turn 2. 6. Only 2 points on turn 4. This is when I'm like, fuck, like I literally can't do anything about this. 8 points on turn 5. So I was doing the math while we were playing. That's kind of like how close of a game it was. So I was like, all right, if I do this and do that, if he does this and that, I can win that way. So I was trying to like plan out, because we had like an hour left. So I was like trying to plan out what I had to do and what I had to stop to try and win this game, because I knew my fixed was good. Like on this game, I had 7, 8, 8, 7, and then 8. So I had what? 38 out of 40 for fixed this game, which is just insane. That's basically what won me the game. His fixed was 5, 5, 7, 5, 3. So he also had a very, very good secondary. I think he had 5, 10, 15, 18, 25. So 25 out of 40. Not that good. So, and then we had 2 turn 1, 10 turn 2, 6 turn 4, and then 6 turn 5. So 30 out of 50 for primary. We had, I don't even know, 8, 10, 18, 24. Shit, did we only have 24? 8, 16, 17, 18. We had 24 for primary. 24 plus the 38. That's what got us to 62. So 62 to 55, guys. Such a close game against Custodes. And if we played a different mission, he probably would have won, because he had the numbers to just kind of keep running around and bullying me. But I had the speed and the maneuverability and the secondary, and the secondary mission, the fixed missions to focus on. So me focusing on those 2 missions is really what won me the game here. So really close game. Awesome rolls with the tank shocks, but can't stop that because it's a dice game. So let's get into game 3, guys, against Dark Angels, another local player who is coming to our Monday night Monday night game at the store from like 6 to 10. So if you come out on Mondays, you get to meet us or hang out and chat or get some games, and make sure you go onto their Discord and look for a game, because it's not a meetup game. You have to plan a game ahead of time to get going. But Dark Angels are very good right now. A lot to say about. In this one, we have the Dark Angel, the Knights, the Deathwing Knights, which should point increase a lot. We have a couple of the Eradicators. Sorry about the names again. If you watch any of my content, you know I don't know shit about this game. I'm just ranked 2nd in the United States. You don't need to know the units to be good at this game. I just got to say. We got the character unit, which are really cool. Like, their models are just freaking awesome. We have a bunch of the jump interceptor guys. I think 2 units of those. We have some of the scouts. We have the no deep strike guys within 12. And let's just get into more. So Azrael, that's the guy that gave me the CP, because Codiez didn't do shit for me the first 2 games. More Deathwing Knights, more of the melted dudes, more of the no deep strike guys, scouts, jump back dudes. Yeah, so pretty cool list. He's got a tank in there as well. Yeah, this big ass tank with just a shit ton of shots. And it's a transport too. So this is our deployment. Our mission is rapid escalation, which means you could bring in first battle round. Each player can set up battle line units and strategic reserves. So basically you can bring them in turn 1, but they have to be basically you can deep strike. You can't deep strike in your opponent's deployment zone, but you can still deep strike within 6 inches of the board edge, which is basically rapid ingress, like, or reserves, like, so just normal reserves. And then purge the foe, which I think I was more confident playing this purge the foe than my Chaos Cult purge the foe, because my Chaos Cult just loses almost every single time we play Purge the Foe. So if you kill a model, a unit, you get 4 points. If you kill more than your opponent that battle round, you get an additional 4 points. If you control an objective, you get 4 points. If you control more in the command phase than your opponent, you get 8 points. So the goal here is to win on primary by controlling more objectives and at least killing 1+ units a turn. That is the goal. So again, with this mission, you can see I'm already happy about this mission. So with this mission, we went first again. So we're playing kind of like a newer player, but not newer player, because he's 2-0. So he's doing really well. A couple of things that obviously when you're playing an RTT, you want to teach your guys as much as possible. You want to have a good friendly environment. You want to have a good friendly game. Anything that take backs and all that stuff, like, I want to make sure that both sides are playing the best game they can possibly play. I want to make sure that he learns, I learn, stuff like that, testing out, whatever it may be. So stuff like this, where your guys are in the ruin, these guys are in the ruin, stuff like that, like knowing terrain rules and everything like that. I think on turn 1, I kind of just moved his guys back after shooting at them, kind of like this. So I just kind of moved them back so that way they couldn't be shot. You know, for my guys, here we go. There's an example. So I put his guys back there on the other side of the ruin so that way they can't be shot from any direction. So stuff like that is like, it doesn't change the game state. It doesn't change my turn 1, whatever it may be. It would change if I moved up, went to go shoot him. He's like, oh, they're supposed to be back here. I'm like, oh, well, let me remove my guys. You know, that is just a friendly type environment. But in this situation, I just wanted him to like not lose his guys for no reason. So I'm like, hey, bro, let's learn Grey Knights. Let's like keep your guys back, because I'm going to be everywhere on the table at all times. So we moved his guys back just to make sure that I couldn't shoot him turn 1. I just want to give that up front. That's why his guys look differently there. But our turn 1, I fail a 5-inch charge. So these guys moved up, scout, and then moved up again, and they wanted to charge these scouts to try and kill them for turn 1 to get kill. So if I don't kill some turn 1, I lose out on 4 points, which is kind of shitty. So going first with Grey Knights, not the best thing in the world. We went first every single game this RTT. So it's doable, guys. It's doable to still go 3-0 and win an RTT with Grey Knights, especially with fixed. So turn 1, we got our outside 9 inches with our chaplain, just kind of chilling right there. Outside 9 inches, got our behind enemy lines and deploy teleport over, because we're doing diagonal deployment. Asriel and his Deathwing Knights and Jump Interceptors are up here. He's got some dudes in the Rhino there. He's got his character unit with the fight first guy right there. These guys, no deep strike within 12, which is really good against Grey Knights. I have to kill them as soon as possible, which they're just really hard to do in this terrain setup. Interceptors right there, more Terminators right there, and some troops right there. And the scouts obviously moved back behind the ruin right there. So we bunched up all of our Terminators. Paladins right there because they can't really do anything. The Rhino advanced up. The Interceptors hopped out. Again, was going to go shoot these guys, but I put them behind cover, so they basically just stayed in the Rhino. Stern advanced up over there. These guys advanced up over here, just kind of camping the objective turn 1, and then the strikes came in turn 1, outside 6 inches on the objective, just to kind of screen out a little bit more. So super easy turn 1. I failed my charge, so fuck them. They then, I think, rapiding or missed Deimos away, because I can either mist with them away or I can mist with the chaplain, but he advanced up his knights because his unit can advance and charge, like his whole army can advance and charge. So super quick Terminators just running at me. These guys, I can back up a little bit more, block out his backfield. Tank moves up. These guys advance up. The Deathwing Knights advance onto the point over here. These guys wait back till turn 2 to kind of block out the backfield a little bit. The Interceptors move up, and I believe I got rid of my strikes with a mist. Yeah, I think I missed them away because I want to keep them alive on the table. I don't want to give him an easy kill and stuff like that. So there's another finger. So obviously not a lot went good in this turn because that's 2 middle fingers in 2 turns. So let's figure out what happened here. All right, so I think I know what happened here. See this guy on 1 wound? Here's the second tank shock. I go to try and kill somebody, and I rolled no 5+. What was funny is my opponent removed him from the table. I'm like, all right, I'm going to tank shock. So I move up, and I go to roll my dice, and he takes them off the table. I'm like, no. You haven't seen my rolls today. Keep them on the table. This is a game. It could be a dice game. Keeps them on the table. I then don't roll 1 5-up for a tank shock, and he lives. So we both have a huge laugh about it, and that's where the middle finger came from, because I couldn't roll 1 5+ out of like 9 dice, but my opponent can roll 5 out of 11 last game, so I was kind of super jealous. Yeah, so that's what happened there. The guy was supposed to move up, tank shock, kill this guy for kill somebody, right? Get 4 points or kill more. So that kind of sucked him living. So my interceptors had to, instead of go after the scouts, had to finish off this fucker that lived with a tank shock. The other interceptors moved up here to try and start going after his backfield. He's got 2 of his guys left back here because I put a lot of the librarian and side cannons into the interceptors here, or intercessors, and then some of these guys back here. So I need to kill these freaking no deep strike 12-inch guys as soon as possible. So that's why turn 2 I have my librarian, my 10-man paladins like ready to go try and kill these guys so I can get into his backfield later on in the game. Deathwing Knights move up and kill my chaplain. That was kind of foreseen. These guys then are just camping over here. Cody has walked in over here, which this is a mistake on my play, but the intent was Cody is going to walk in 6 inches and block out 9 inches in the corner, right? I have the movement, I have the measurements, all that stuff. I fucked up and didn't measure that, and on his turn, he basically just comes in right there. So I'm like, well, my intent was to do that. I fucked up. My bad. So he was able to literally fit an entire unit of guys. Like, it was like out by a hair. Maybe he would have given it to me, but it's whatever. I just bonehead play, didn't block him out, because all he has to do is be 2 inches forward and blocks out that entire corner, which again was the intent. So that way he can't get his fucking interceptors in my backfield to kill Codiez. But I messed up. So let's go back here. Moves up all of his guys. His guys are charging into Drago. Actually, Drago charged his guys because I want to try and just kill his dudes as much as possible. So we kill all but 3, leave 1 on 1. He was surprised that Drago had a 3 damage weapon, so that kind of helped out with the -1 damage attacks. Azrael is by himself over here. All these guys are now in combat over here. We did kill that one guy right here. And then we got into combat back here. So we're just trying to kill his Marines, leave his Knights. That's kind of the intent playing Dark Angels, is leave the Knights for the Paladins or later on in the game and kill all the Marine bodies. If you can kill all the Marines and leave the Deathwing Knights, he's not going to have enough to beat you with primary and secondary. So that is really the goal against Marines, especially Dark Angels, is kill the Marines that are doing the actions and leave all the Deathwing Knights if you can. If you need to kill him or go after him, try to like split him up, because he's got a unit down here, he's got a unit all the way up here, and the other ones I think are in deep strike. So like I said, brought these guys in. They obviously make their charge, because why not? And then his other unit advanced up here to try and get onto these guys. We kill. These guys fall back, so he's got 2 of the no deep strike guys, 3 of the regular dudes left. These guys got out. These guys still in combat. Everybody else kind of fell back. Drago is still fighting along against these 3 Deathwing Knights. These guys don't know what to do, if they're going to move up forward or come back. And I think, yeah, so he makes his charge onto Codiez in the top corner. These guys make the charge there to kill my strikes. He obliterates my interceptors down here with the Rhino. So Rhino got nuked by all the Melta. And what? Okay, and then that was it. So he failed his charge, I believe, with this. Like, I think he wanted to charge here. He failed it, rolled it again, failed it again. So then that gave us a little bit of play where we can then move up our Paladins. Deep strike our Stern. In this back corner here, so Stern comes down for deploy teleport hammer. Assassin comes up to put some AP2 shots into his units. The 2-man interceptor squad hopped out behind cover over here. I probably should have just advanced like way further back here, because they are a kill more target, so I probably should have just ran them away. He kills my dudes back here. Custodes on a 2+, lives because he has a 2-up armor save, so he actually lived, which was cool. So he lives on 2 wounds. He then falls back. These guys came down within 3 to steal this objective from the Deathwing Knights. My Libby moves up to join the assault. He moves up, charges. Interceptors are still alive, finishing off these 2 units. So now I have the backfield. He's got the Melta guys left. He's got the big tank left, which I haven't really touched. He's got the scout unit left that was supposed to die on turn 1. I have a couple characters. I have my 10-man paladin brick. I got my grandmaster. He's got his fight first guy, but not really going to do anything into 10 paladins. We killed the unit. That got us a point. And now Drago is the only one alive against these 5 Deathwing Knights. So they're the ones that came down last turn. Yep, back here. And then they made the charge onto Drago. So I have Drago with 2, 3, 4 paladin or terminators left, now just getting surrounded by Deathwing Knights. So he makes his 9-inch charge up there, makes his 9-inch charge down here, fails that charge, which was cool. We kill Azrael, so we got rid of his CP generation, which gets rid of my CP generation, and then we have Drago by himself with 5 Deathwing Knights on his side. This is the end of the game state. So at the end of the game, we move up our paladins, we finish off that guy, we finish off these guys, so we basically clear the way. So we kill that guy, kill these guys, and then we charge the Rhino and do devastating wounds on the charge. Not the Rhino, the big tank. Take it down to like 2 or 3 wounds. Drago finally dies, and then all he has left is Terminator. So at the end of the game, we finished off these Terminators because my Paladins finally got into combat with them, which they ignore their -1 damage, -1 AP, all that stuff. So the Paladins are actually really good at killing Dark Angel Terminators with a Grandmaster. So we actually kill all of the Terminators. We kill the tank finally on turn 5. We kill these guys. All he has left are these Melta guys. This character. These Terminators, which I ran away from. I'm like, all right, you can have the top. And then these interceptors couldn't get to my home field objective in 2 turns. So he next turn walked up, killed or threw a grenade at Custodes, and then couldn't get to my home field objective to steal it. So by the end of the game, this is what the final score is. Again, not 10 points for painting, so we have 83 to 63 going with the Grey Knights. Grey Knights, we had 7 on turn 1, like every single time, and then 8, 8, 8, 8. So our secondary score was maxed out. Most you can do by going first. If you go second at all, you can then max it out 40 out of 40, but every single game we went first. That's why we have a first to the fray chaplain coming down either within 3 or outside 9 to get first to the fray. That's his points every single game. Then we had 8 points turn 1 for primary because we killed one, held one, killed one. No, we held one, killed more, held one, killed more, held one, killed more. So we had 8, 12, 12, 12. For him, he had 4 turn 1. I had a 0 because I couldn't kill those scouts. So he had a 4 turn 1. He had 8, 4 and 4, 4 and 4, 8 and 4. So he held more and then killed 1 and then held 0. Or that might have been kills. Whatever, vice versa. Whatever it was, we had 8, 12, 12, 12. He had essentially 12, 8, 12, 8. So he had 40 out of 50 for primary. We had 44 out of 50 for primary. We had 39 out of 40. He had 23 out of 40. So he had 3, 4, 4, 8, 6. So 63 to 83. Grey Knights beat the Dark Angels to finish up 3-0. All right, so what did we learn with Grey Knights? We learned that you can play fixed pretty consistently, like as long as you know exactly to focus on this specific task every single game. You can do behind enemy lines for at least 7 points turn 1 with one guy, and then you can do deploy teleport homers with 4 points with that one guy. Having the assassin, having Stern, having the solo Libby, having the solo chaplain or grandmaster, whichever way you want to run it, that gives you 4 guaranteed solo characters to get behind enemy lines and do an action and do something for you with the mission. Then you still have 2 strikes, 2 interceptors that can move up, shoot, move again, right? With the interceptors, you can move up, charge, you can advance, what, 18, 15 plus 6, 24. If you're in the Rhino, you can get out 15, advance 6, that's 21, plus shoot for a CP and then move again 6. So basically you can auto advance 21 inches, or you can advance, shoot, and then move. Like, there's just so much movement with this list. You have the bully unit, which is the paladins with the Grandmaster. That unit shouldn't die. Like, if it's dying, there's something wrong that you're playing them with. Sigil, don't proc it too early. If you're getting shot by a big ass tank and it's 3 damage, proc it. But if it's like small fire or whatever, and you don't need to be somewhere else on the table, don't proc it. It's really scary late game. Having the Sigil late game, it's almost a guarantee, like, they're never gonna die. Stern should be defensive. You can see a couple games I didn't need him to be in the backfield. You only need 2 behind enemy lines. If you get more than 3 or 4, you probably have too many behind enemy lines and you're not doing primary or defending your backfield. So make sure you're not just throwing everybody in the opponent's deployment zone, because now they're just fighting in one zone, which is not what you want. You want the fighting to be everywhere on the table. Libby was cool. I think I'll keep the Libby. I think even though I rolled like shit with the Libby, I think just having the extra, maybe rely on like 3 mortal wounds. If I can get 3 mortal wounds to finish off a tank or a guy or a unit, that is really what I'm going to be relying on. I'm not going to rely on the fucking rolling a 10 or a 12 for the mortal wounds, because it never happens, or I kill myself. So you're going to either rely on him killing himself or rolling a 3 for mortal wounds. Now, another thing is, if you are going to try and do the mortal wounds, and there's only 2 behind enemy lines, you're, potentially losing out on those points if he dies. So another thing to remember is, if you do the Vortex of Doom, maybe you should have another unit in the back doing the action, potentially, or you might lose out on points. So I think it's in the shooting phase. So you can see if he does it, see if he kills himself. If he doesn't, he can do the action. If he does, you can have somebody else do the action, because I think it's in the shooting phase you could do deploy tailboat homers. So make sure you remember that. But that is really what I would change. I think Codiez would be the thing that comes out of the list. So that's 95 points. I don't think you can bring another assassin. I don't think I changed really anything about the list. Yeah, I don't think I changed anything about it. So you can try the Navigator, 70 or 95 points. You can try something in the Inquisitor Codex. I don't think there's an assassin for 95 points. I think there are 100 or more. Somebody let me know if there's an assassin for 95 points. I think there are 100 more. But throw another assassin there. That would be pretty cool. Or for 90 points, you can upgrade to a Grand Master and then have 75 points left over to bring a smaller squad, like a smaller unit. Tech Priest, if you really want to. I don't think you need one. Yeah, it's really your call. You have 95 points to play around with, whatever you like, but everything else in the list I like. I don't think there's anything else I would change about this fixed list. If you're going to bring this fixed list to a GT or RTT, GT especially, like, it's super easy. Like, the games go really quick because you're not really doing that much on your turns. You're just focused on getting your 8 points, holding down the primary, stealing their primary, and then passing turn. Like, definitely be playing clock, because your opponent's probably going to be clocking more than you're clocking. So if your opponent's clocking more than you are, you know you're playing it correctly. If you're clocking or thinking too much, you need just more reps with it. But guys, let me know if you like this type of video, if you like this type of content. If you guys want to support the channel, head over to the Patreon page. That's where we make a lot of the supporters, and you get access to the Discord. And also, if you guys want to support us, check out the merch on the merch store. And if you guys want specific merch, message me on Discord, so that way we can get that out to you. It's usually only United States we ship, sometimes Canada, but mainly in the United States. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you like, didn't like, how we can improve on the channel, and let me know what you think about Grey Knights, because I think they're still awesome, and I think they could still be very competitive in 10th edition Pariah Nexus. But guys, I appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40k in 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but there's only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month tier. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40K, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40k 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000 point list, 1,500 point list, 2,000 point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. Because I can't thank you enough for supporting us. Definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40k, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024 is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already a part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.